Siskel and Ebert review. Michael J. Fox torn between romance and ambition in For Love or Money. The lives of Andy McDowell, Jack Lemmon, and Lily Tomlin intersect in Robert Altman's Shortcuts. And Alec Baldwin has designs on newlyweds Bill Pullman and Nicole Kidman in Malice.
If you don't like my jokes, don't laugh. If you have a medical opinion, please speak up and speak up loud. But if you ever again tell me or my surgical staff that we're going to lose a patient, I'm going to take out your lungs with an ice cream scoop. Do you understand me?
That's Alec Baldwin as a brilliant young surgeon who arrives in town in a climate of violence and mystery in Malice, one of the 5 new movies we're reviewing this week on Siskel and Ebert. We'll also look at Robert Altman's new film, Shortcuts, and Jeremy Irons in M. Butterfly, the story of a man who loves well, but not too wisely. I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times.
And I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune. Our first film is called Malice, and to watch it is very frustrating. It's one of those thrillers where nothing is ever quite what it seems, so you have no chance of guessing what's going on, and the film is so violent that you don't really care. I just wanted it to pick an ending, any ending, and be done with it. Nicole Kidman and Bill Pullman play newlyweds, but their marriage is strained after he invites an old high school acquaintance to move into their upstairs apartment. The friend is an egotistical surgeon who needs a place to stay.
Jed's a friend.
He's not a friend. He didn't even remember your name, Alan.
The doctor is played by Alec Baldwin. Don't you think he could afford to stay in a hotel? Anyway, he moves in and then pops into Kidman's bathroom, surprising her as she has abdominal cramps.
I'm sorry about that.
What the hell are you doing in here?
Are you all right?
No, I'm not all right.
Anybody home?
Up here, honey.
Later on, in law offices, and remember, nothing is what it seems in this picture, Dr. Baldwin is forced to defend himself against Nicole Kidman in a lawsuit, and he does so directly to her attorney, played by Peter Gallagher.
You go ahead and read your Bible, Dennis. And you go to your church, and with any luck, you might win the annual raffle. But if you're looking for God, he was in operating room number 2 on November 17th, and he doesn't like to be second-guessed. You ask me if I have a God complex? Let me tell you something. I am God.
Now, I can't give away too much about this story, but I found Malice wholly incredible in its setup, and when the twists in the story started to come fast and furious, I felt as if I were being toyed with, that the story could go any which way without any logic. It didn't make any difference. Malice does get very violent, too, and that depressed me. I like Nicole Kidman's performance in this film, but that's it.
Boy, I'm in complete agreement with you on this one. You know, when the film was over, my wife and I spent at least half an hour just trying to figure out apparent inconsistencies in the story, because there are things that seem to make sense at the time, and then when you find out things later, you say, well, then why did this happen, or how could it have happened, or you know, the movie is really frustrating because it doesn't have that neat kind of little package at the end where you say, oh, now I understand everything and I know how it all worked out.
Or you could
I really think there are loose threads in this movie.
Well, also that you could have, in that case, if it were more logical, I mean, why does he have to take the room upstairs?
Yeah.
You know, he's so good. I mean, why play it that obvious? Why not make it more complicated? If he's in another house, it's just, you have the same
and
story.
why would he want to move into that house, and why would she want him to move into the house?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense
No,
right at the top.
And also, of course, there's a whole subplot about a serial killer that's just thrown in as a bonus. It has nothing to do with anything.
A very violent bonus, actually.
Yeah, but it's just like, oh, let's just add a little serial killer action for fun here. Okay. Next movie and our next film is Cool Runnings, based on the true story of a Jamaican bobsled team which amazed everyone by actually competing in the Olympics, even though there is, of course, no snow in Jamaica, and they had to practice on a bobsled with wheels. The original idea to enter a bobsled team occurs when some of the island's best runners are disqualified after an accident in a qualifying round.
The key elements for a successful sled team
or a steady driver, and 3 strong runners to push off down the ice. Ice!
They have their doubts about the idea, but meet with John Candy, who is a disgraced former bobsled champion himself.
You zigging, you zagging. Always remember, your bones will not break in a bobsled. No, they shatter.
To their amazement and to the amazement of the entire world, the team actually arrives at the Winter Olympics ready to compete. It's a dream come true, even if the other teams hardly take them seriously.
Now listen up, fellas. I don't want you to worry about looking good out there.
Ah, Blitzy. You're going to tux them in, too?
Hey, seeming to you like nobody likes us.
We're different. People are always afraid of what's different.
Cool Runnings tells a funny and inspirational story, and the cast works up a lot of charm, but basically the movie is a failed opportunity. The whole Olympics movement has been corrupted by so much hype, so much emphasis on winning at any cost, on superhuman perfectionism, that this cheerful band of Jamaican dreamers could have been used to bring some sanity back to the subject, but instead their experience has been sanitized and standardized into an absolutely routine series of sports movies cliches. There's hardly a scene you can't predict, and the brave originality of the team of outsiders is completely lost in the formula. Too bad.
Absolutely. When you say sanitized, that's exactly what has happened. The true story is that I guess a couple of American entrepreneurs in Jamaica came up with the idea of the bobsled team. There was no John Candy as the coach, who's coming out of retirement. John Candy as a bobsledder, is a little bit...
well, 20 years ago, who knows?
Yeah, I know. They have a photograph there. Yeah. And then the invention of the East German team as the bad guys, actually, I'm told that this is the 1988 Calgary Olympics, that the teams were all amused, frankly, by these people there. Why do you have to turn it into such obvious sort of grammar school humor with a story that could have been very funky in other hands?
Yeah, and it's just your basic underdog fish out of water story, when in fact if they had had a couple of sharp entrepreneurs saying, hey, why don't we
make
launch a bobsled thing, we can make a lot of money off the t-shirts.
Exactly right.
And
why do you need
souvenir sales,
and why do you need the glowering East German team? I mean, it's just a low-rent approach to what could have been fun.
You're right. Coming up next, hot after the success of The Player, Robert Altman takes a different look at Los Angeles. An all-star cast in Shortcuts when we come back.
To hell with love. To hell with love.
When I bite into a York peppermint patty, I get the sensation of zigging and zagging my Porsche through the Alps in winter, downshifting, yes, upshifting.
York peppermint patty, get the sensation.
Now you can own the movie that critics found astonishing, extraordinary, and uproariously funny.
Go on.
Aladdin. Relive the adventure Time magazine called exhilarating, a ravishing thrill ride.
How about that?
Capture the magic they called glorious family entertainment.
Big group hug.
And share the film that Siskel and Ebert gave 2 thumbs up as the latest Disney masterpiece.
I'm blushing.
It's the hit movie that's been hailed as an instant classic. You'll love Walt Disney's Aladdin, on sale now.
Ships ahoy! The only cookie with wow!
In tennis, you don't just play the opponent. You've got to play the ball. It's how you play the ball that determines whether your shot is in or out, whether the point is won or lost. Now, you can play the ball and win with this half-hour video by Tennis Magazine instruction editor Vic Braden. Free with a 1-year subscription. 12 issues of Tennis Magazine. Call 800-228-6609 for a full year of Tennis Magazine plus the free video. Just $13.77. Call 800-228-6609 now.
Cervical cancer strikes young women as well as those over age 50. Hi, I'm Susan Cost. We'll talk about the importance of annual pelvic exams and a pap smear to fight cervical cancer on the next Health Watch program. We'll also talk with a local physician who's involved in national drug research.
UHS Health Watch, Sunday at 10:30 a.m. on TV 12.
Tuna melt, it's breakfast. Have a steak and some eggs.
Not if I have to pay for it, baby.
You're not drinking, are you?
Lily Tomlin and Tom Waits are lovers having problems, one of many frustrated couples we meet in Robert Altman's Shortcuts, a marvelous adult soap opera of sorts from the director of last year's inside look at the high-powered people who make the movies in Los Angeles. The player, this time in Shortcuts, using the stories of hard-boiled writer Raymond Carver, Altman shows us another side of Los Angeles, exposing the strained lives of the middle-class people who go to the movies, such as this embittered couple played by Matthew Modine and Julianne Moore. Here preparing to host a barbecue, they talk about their guests, but they're really rubbing old wounds raw.
Do you think he's attractive?
Who?
The husband.
Stewart it is.
He's the kind of guy women find attractive, isn't he? The outdoorsman type.
Another out-of-kilter couple, Andie MacDowell and Bruce Davison, have to deal with an irate phone caller, a baker played by Lyle Lovett. He's upset they never picked up their son's birthday cake.
Lady, I work 16 hours a day to make ends meet. Yeah. I bake all night and work all day.
You bake all night? I thought you made phone calls at night, you bastard.
There's more stressful relationships as Peter Gallagher tries to get back at his estranged wife, Frances McDormand.
Oh, she's not dressed right now.
Give it to me.
Honey, put your panties on. Whoa.
With it. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Have a nice weekend.
Get out of here.
Not all of Shortcuts is bitter. We actually get to see a police officer, Tim Robbins, try to pick up a pretty clown, Ann Archer.
Can I go now?
No, ma'am. One more question.
What's that?
How many clowns can you fit in this car?
I beg your pardon?
How many clowns can you fit in this car, ma'am?
Why'd you take my phone number?
Well, you never know when you might need the services of a clown, ma'am.
That scene sort of hangs there, and it does show some of the loopiness of Shortcuts, short, weird moments in dozens of middle-class characters' lives. Empty lives, you might think at first glance, but as this film progresses, I found a certain nobility in these people slugging through existence. Shortcuts intercuts among these many characters like an extended 3-hour soap opera, but it's worth sticking through it all because the writing is sharp, and the stranger the situations we see, the more real they seem. It's a terrific film with Altman having fully regained now his early career form.
I love this movie too, Gene, and although I think it actually is more of an Altman film than a Raymond Carver film because the poignancy and the sadness of some of the Carver stories is kind of joined here with Altman's love of these weird characters and their strange ways of earning a living, especially the Jennifer Jason Leigh character who carries on phone sex conversations while trying to keep her husband in line, raise a family, change diapers, and meanwhile having these fantasies on the telephone. That kind of double-think, it goes all the way through the movie, people who are operating on more than one level at once.
I felt the poignancy that you're talking about, though. At first I was thinking, oh, this is, you know, he's skewering Los Angeles again, just like in The Player. But I felt that there was an empathy for these characters, that they are out there at the forefront, they're away from their extended family. These are people, these are loose ends of people, a couple alone in a room with lousy furniture basically all their lives. And at some point I did feel for the battle that they're trying to go through.
It's a real good film. When we come back in Butterfly, the story of a Frenchman in China who falls in love without asking very many questions.
Walt Disney's World on Ice presents Aladdin live at Broome County Arena October 27th through 31st. WBNG TV 12 and Giant Supermarkets invite you to save $3 on all tickets to Family Night, Wednesday, October 27th at 7 with a coupon available at area Giant Supermarkets. Tickets are on sale at the box office and all Ticketmaster outlets. Join WBNG TV 12 and Giant Supermarkets as Walt Disney's World on Ice presents Aladdin. It's a whole new world on ice.
Golf Digest introduces 8 ways to a better golf game. It can help you experience a game that's better all around. Get the 8 ways to a better golf game video. It's guaranteed to improve your game, and it's free with your paid subscription. Order 12 issues of Golf Digest for just $19.77 now, and get the latest video free. Call 800-854-4000. That's 800-854-4000.
Perhaps you've seen the real estate will never be the same signs that have been on buses, and real estate will never be the same advertisement that's been going on, and this is the culmination of that. Sabar and Wells has now become Century 21 Sabar and Wells.
I think it's fantastic. Not only were we #1 in the county before, but now we're going to be #1 nationwide.
I think it's a great move. It'll be prosperous for all the people involved.
I love it. We're on top of the world. We're going to put this market on fire. It's going to be super.
Bad makeup is not unique to the West.
I've never seen a performance as convincing as yours.
Jeremy Irons is a French diplomat, and John Lone is a star of the Peking Opera in a scene from the movie version of the long-running stage hit M. Butterfly. And right away, you know the secret of this movie, which, unlike a similar situation in a certain 1992 movie, is supposed to be known to the audience, known to everybody, that is, except for the movie's hero, who thinks he is in love with a woman when in fact he has been deceived by a man, an opera star who is a spy for the Chinese government.
Be a gentleman, will you, and light my cigarette?
The Chinese seducer there, named Sung, didn't necessarily set out to pretend to be a woman. After all, everyone was supposed to know that the female roles in Peking opera are played by men. But since the Frenchman apparently didn't know, Sung sees no need to enlighten him. M. Butterfly is based on an actual case, and the question that all of France wanted answered was, how did this deception last so long? Why didn't René Gallimard ever learn his lover's secret?
I want honesty, no falseness between us.
The Chinese intelligence services are efficient, so efficient that after Sung convinces Gallimard he is about to become a father, an actual Eurasian baby is produced as proof.
I want you to marry me, Butterfly. I want us to live together. I'll take you to Paris.
I can't marry you, Renee.
Now, in my opinion, John Lone does not make a terrifically convincing woman in M. Butterfly, but then again, maybe he isn't supposed to. The whole idea of the movie is that everybody knows the secret except the poor, deceived Frenchman. And for that matter, maybe he knows too, but he simply doesn't want to admit it to himself. No matter how you read the story, the movie itself is a disappointment. Film is more literal than the stage, and what worked as a theatrical mystery never seems plausible on the screen.
Well, there isn't a sense of discovery, Roger.
No.
That's true. And then John Lone doesn't work as a woman. It's quite obvious early on. And I think that had to be done better, frankly, for it to work. At the same time, you called Jeremy Irons once, I think, the poet of frustrated sexuality. And he does have that quality. I mean, he does. It's a sad story because I just focused in on him. I have mixed feelings about the film, too. I expected because of I'd never seen the Broadway play. Had you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it twice. I saw it once in London with Anthony Hopkins.
Well, maybe because I hadn't seen it, and I guess most people will be in that position when they go to the film, I was expecting something really big and great, and it wasn't there.
It's a disappointment. There are a couple of scenes in the movie that really had me questioning things. For example, would they put the two prisoners together in a police car so that they could have that private conversation? Would all of the prisoners in the prison watch so attentively and so appreciatively in that performance that kind of ends the movie? I don't think so, and I think that the whole mystery of this story is kind of lost, except, as you're quite right to say, Jeremy Irons captures the poignancy of this man who was either deceived or self-deceived.
That's the way to look at this film. I think if people do go to see it with maybe lowered expectations and focus in on him and him alone, I think that there is something of substance.
Okay, coming up next, Michael J. Fox's latest comedy. He plays a New York hotel concierge, better at helping others than helping himself. For Love or Money is next.
So, you guys planning on seeing any shows while you're in town? All right, okay.
If you like nutty, you'll love nuttier. Milk chocolate peanuttier. A nuttier bar for nuttier times. Mr. Goodbar.
We brought you the most fantastic adventure under the sea with The Little Mermaid. We brought you the most romantic story of all time with Beauty and the Beast.
But we're not through yet.
Now we proudly present the hottest movie under the sun. At last, Aladdin is on video.
Big group hug.
It's the most successful Disney hit movie of all time. Make this Academy Award-winning film yours.
All right!
Own the most popular Disney movie ever.
Hang on!
Aladdin, now on video for a limited time.
Excuse me, do you make these delicious fat-free Snackwell Devil's Food cookies?
Why, yes, I do.
You want to tell us why we can't find them in the stores anymore?
What is this?
You got some explaining to do, Cookie Man.
Devil's Food cookies are on the way. Meanwhile, keep enjoying the other Snackwells.
For Love or Money with Michael J. Fox starts out great and then gets all soft, letting a solid comic situation get ground down by a conventional happy ending. Fox plays a razor-sharp Manhattan hotel concierge who is at his best solving every guest's problem, sometimes even before they ask him, as when he spots a husband in the doghouse with his wife.
Now, I can only get fourth-row orchestra. I'm sorry, Miss Saigon is very tough to get at the last second. Also, I made reservations for a late dinner at the Rainbow Room. My friend Gigi, the maitre d', is expecting you. And as per instructions, the hotel limo will pick you up at the theater.
Why, Sparky, you really had me going.
So far, so good, and we enjoyed the behind-the-scenes material, like this quick bit with other concierges trading hot Broadway tickets. I wanted more of this, a lot more.
What about my night games? We're getting to night games. Okay, Charlotte. Dougie needs 6 grand hotels for Saturday. Charlotte needs 2 cats and a phantom. 6 times 50 is 3, minus 2 times 60, minus 40, plus Secret Gardens, and Charlotte's a happy camper. Okay.
Now for the boring stuff. Fox's big personal problem is the woman he's in love with, Gabrielle Anwar. Al Pacino taught her the tango in Son of a Woman. She's seeing another man, a rich married man, who has employed Fox to do his bidding, like telling her he'll be late for a date.
And he sent you scurrying over to tell me?
Well, I didn't scurry. I don't scurry. I take the subway like any other animal.
Unlucky in love, Fox dreams of developing his own hotel, but he needs big dough. And the guy with it? Right, her boyfriend. That makes showing her a mock-up of his dream more poignant.
Wow.
See it?
Yes.
The big problem with For Love or Money is that not for a second do we believe that Gabrielle Anwar would fall for this rich guy. He's such a jerk, and in general, her character is written as a true featherbrain. Why couldn't the other two characters be as sharp as Michael J. Fox in this picture? That and more behind-the-scenes hotel stuff would have made me really like For Love or Money, as it now plays a mixed review from me. A wonderful start, regretfully, though, thumbs down.
With me, it isn't even a close call. It's definitely thumbs down, and I agree with you. It would have been a lot more fun if they had really gotten behind the scenes instead of just using cliches like the evil manager of the hotel and the fumbling little old bellman. You know, those are out of 1,000 other movies. It's too bad.
Everybody has stayed in a hotel, you know, who's going to come to see this picture. Most of them will have had concierges, and you wonder about this person who just pries into everybody's life and is the mastermind of the city. It's a great situation.
The real imagination, which is the last thing that Hollywood wants to get anywhere near, would have said, throw out this hackneyed love story that we've seen 1,000 times before. Let's have a funny comedy about this guy who works for the hotel. But, you know, God forbid that they would ever make a movie that they hadn't already made. I mean, Hollywood is the only industry where they really believe that practice makes perfect. When we come back, our Laserdisc pick of the month, a restored version of a rare Abbott and Costello children's movie.
My baby loves Orville. She just can't stop. She loves the butterfly kernels going pop, pop, pop. She licks the popcorn butter and the popcorn salt. She's my popcorn lover, and it's all his fault. There ain't no way to stop her in vodka, popper, pop, pop, pop.
Hollywood Pictures presents the most talked about and highly acclaimed film of the year, The Joy Luck Club. Time magazine calls it enthralling. It's a 4 full terms of endearment. The Los Angeles Times raves, if The Joy Luck Club doesn't make you cry, nothing will.
You make me happy.
Don't miss the movie Siskel and Ebert give 2 thumbs up, way up. The Joy Luck Club, rated R. Now playing in select cities. Check newspaper for showtimes.
To help manage your money more wisely today, get the Wall Street Journal Guide to Understanding Personal Finance. The guide is filled with information you need to know before you buy a home, plan your retirement, or start saving for your child's college years. Subscribe now to the Wall Street Journal. Take advantage of this introductory offer. Get 10 weeks of the Journal for just $36 and your free copy of the Guide to Personal Finance. Call 800-348-1600. That's 800-348-1600.
The news is constantly changing, and we want you to know the latest facts.
That's true with the weather, too, and we'll keep you up to date on changes in the forecast. In the morning, people want information they can use.
From the top news story
to the day's weather.
That's That's why we start our day off early.
To help you start your day off right.
Count on us for complete coverage in the morning.
Debbie Rodman and Joe Menini. Action News this morning at 6:30 a.m. on TV 12.
Pick of the Month is brought to you by Pioneer Home Theater. You don't just watch it.
Now it's time for our Laserdisc Pick of the Month, and I had a lot of fun watching Jack and the Beanstalk, the 1952 Abbott and Costello comedy that was the first of only 2 movies that the boys ever made in color. Unfortunately, the original color negative was lost, and this Laserdisc is a restoration of a movie that many people have seen only in black and white on television. The movie follows Abbott and Costello as they climb a giant beanstalk and enter the kingdom of the giant, who is played here by the gigantic heavyweight Buddy Bear.
Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
Mister, if I'm too heavy for you, I just leave walk.
Me too.
Jack and the Beanstalk is an entertaining movie, but it's not a great one. It's kind of a low-rent homage to The Wizard of Oz, with a black and white opening sequence that really isn't necessary at all, and a large number of musical numbers with long and forgettable songs. But the actual comedy is endearing, and Lou Costello in particular is very entertaining, reminding me that in all of these comedy teams, it's always the tall guy who's the straight man and the chubby guy who has all the best lines. Now let's take another look at the movies we reviewed this week. 2 thumbs down for Malice, the thriller with Alec Baldwin and Nicole Kidman. The actors had to fight their way through too much plot and way too much implausibility. 2 more thumbs down for Cool Runnings, about the Jamaican bobsled team. It has some good moments, but way too many sports cliches. 2 very big thumbs up, though, for Robert Altman's adventurous and ambitious Shortcuts, with its menagerie of Los Angelinos making their way through life with difficulty, wit, and a great deal of imagination. 2 thumbs down for the disappointing M. Butterfly, a film version of the big Broadway hit. It may work as stagecraft, but on the big screen it's more unconvincing than unconventional. And finally, 2 more thumbs down for Michael J. Fox in For Love or Money, a no-brainer in which every move seemed choreographed years in advance. So this week, it's Robert Altman's Shortcuts as our choice.
And I like the Abbott and Costello movie. I saw it as a 6-year-old, and it actually, at that age, it scared me. When they go up that beanstalk, it was very frightening for me. Anyway, that's it for this week. Next week, we'll be back with reviews of more new movies, including Mr. Jones, with psychiatrist Lena Olin falling for her #1 patient, Richard Gere, and the Civil War drama Gettysburg, starring Tom Berenger, Martin Sheen, and Jeff Daniels. That's next week. And until then, the balcony is closed.
Easy Spirit. Looks like a pump, feels like a sneaker. Dress shoes with all the cushioning and supportive athletic shoes, now in new colors for fall. Vicks Vapor Inhaler for fast, effective relief of nasal congestion, easy to carry and easy to use anytime, anywhere. Take a breather with the Vicks Vapor Inhaler. St. Ives Swiss Formula Collagen Elastin Lotion. Made to work in the harsh Swiss Alps, St. Ives Swiss Formula relieves dry skin instantly, naturally. Fashion Bug for the latest in junior, misses, plus even girls and men's fashions. 1,200 stores coast to coast. Fashion Bug fits your life.
Hi, I'm Regis Philbin.
And I'm Kathy Lee Gifford.
Have you seen the unbelievable list of guests we've got this week?
You mean 2 of the greatest singers of our time, Johnny Mathis and Tony Bennett?
That's not all. One of the greatest directors of all time, Martin Scorsese.
He will be here, and so will the Prince of Passion, fabulous Fabio.
Kathy's favorite, Frank.
We'll also set new world records this week in some of the strangest categories you've ever seen.
It all starts this week on Live.
Monday at 9 on TV 12.
On the next Ricky Lake, they say they're gold diggers.
People say that money doesn't buy happiness. It does.
And
to provide complete coverage of the news that affects the Twin Tiers. For local and national news that's important to you, get the news as it breaks from Mark Leland. For sports coverage that brings the excitement home, get all the local and professional sports scores and highlights from Chris Matthews. For weather forecasts that are accurate and up-to-date, get the latest weather information from Bob Buchanan. The Action News team, working for you, weeknights at 6 and 11.
On the next Coach.
I think you're a lot more like your father than you want to admit.
I resent that.
Hey. Are Kelly and Stewart breaking up?
Frankly, Kelly, I'm starting to find this whole relationship emotionally toxic. Are they breaking up? You're controlling, judgmental, inhibiting. You're just like him, oh!
Well, they are breaking up. Coach.
Monday at 7:30 p.m. on TV 12.